Yeah, I think most people have career anxiety. Some may have more than others, but a lot of people do have career anxiety, and they don't know if they're doing the right thing in terms of practicing law or they're in their job, or if they do feel they may be doing the right thing, then they might also feel that they're in the wrong place, that something needs to change, that they need to advance or they need to find a better environment. So I think a lot of people have career anxiety, especially at the beginning of careers, because the beginning of a career is never the same as what it is after you've learned what you're doing. So, the first 10 years of being an attorney's job is almost an apprenticeship. I mean, maybe 5 or 6 years, but after that, the job can change quite a bit. So, yeah, I think a lot of people have career anxiety. I think the two main types of career anxiety would be environmental career anxiety and then misdirected energy career anxiety. Environmental career anxiety is really probably the most common form of anxiety, and that's related to not maybe liking the people you work with, not feeling comfortable in the city you're working with, whether you're in a big city or a small market. It could be the environment. You could be working in-house and not like it, and in terms of the company, or you could be working in a law firm and not like the law firm environment. You might want a bigger law firm or a smaller law firm. Environmental career anxiety, in most cases, is related to things that you can change, which is good. So that's what I would call environmental career anxiety. Well, and that's the good thing. I mean, environmental career anxiety is something where you can do a job search. You can use a recruiting firm like BCG Attorney Search. You can find jobs on a job board like Law Crossing, consolidates all different types of jobs in every location, whether it's in-house or a law firm. You can talk to people and find other jobs. You can move to a different practice setting. You can read about different ways, different practice settings where you can work. So environmental career anxiety is really something that's fixable. It's important to make the right decisions and to be educated, but environmental career anxiety is definitely fixable. Misdirected energy means that you feel like you're being constrained by what you're doing, and you feel that whatever kind of strengths you have and your interests aren't necessarily aligned with what you're doing. I mean, it takes a special kind of person to sit down and practice law, which is essentially working on other people's problems and people that are doing things in the world, especially in a large law firm where you're representing corporations or something along those lines. So you're typically solving other people's problems, and if you're a corporate attorney, you're doing deals for people. If you're a real estate attorney, you're helping other people buy real estate, or you're just doing things for other people, and it's a special type of skill. I mean, most of it is done also in an office, so you're working behind a desk. It's not something that everybody wants to do. Some people don't like the conflict involved in practicing law. Some people don't like the fact that it's very tedious. And some people just don't care about the work. And if you don't care about it and you're not really passionate about solving other people's problems, and if you feel that it's draining you somehow and it's just not where your energy lies, then it's not something you should be doing. I mean, people have all sorts of skills. Some people may be skilled artists where they want to paint and draw. I mean, I know someone like that became a successful artist. Other people may want to write. They might want to write books. I know someone that was a very successful attorney that now does that. So you may have a skill, and if that skill's not being satisfied by practicing law, then it's probably a good idea to be doing something else. The most difficult thing to do is to take action and to really make a profound change. But a lot of times when you take action, that's where the most rewards are, especially if you feel driven and really drawn to something. So what I recommend doing is studying the things that you're interested in and immersing yourself in those subject matters and seeing if there's something that really draws your interest and you can see yourself doing for the rest of your life. Every profession, if you're passionate enough about it, you can do well. And good people always rise to the top no matter what they do. So if you enjoy doing something else and you're passionate enough about it, it almost doesn't matter what it is, you can be successful doing it. The easiest way to tell if you should be practicing law is if someone asks you if you like what you're doing and you honestly say you enjoy the work. And if you enjoy the work, then you probably should be practicing law. Some people enjoy the writing, they enjoy doing the deals and putting things together. They just take pride in it and they like it. And they like being around the people doing it. And that's sort of the main reasons. If your complaints are environmental about what you're doing, meaning you don't like the people you're working with or you don't like the city, but you still come back to liking the work, then that means you probably should be practicing law. People that don't want to practice law spend their days thinking about doing other things. They just don't see themselves doing what they're doing. They think about a different type of work that gets them excited. So for example, when I was practicing law, I dreamed of this is crazy, but I dreamed of opening a business that sold asphalt sealer and sealer products to companies around Los Angeles, or to people that were contractors around Los Angeles. And I investigated it, and I talked to companies that were franchises to do that. And I mean, that to me was much more exciting and potentially enriching than practicing law. So I was someone that shouldn't have been practicing law because I was just too interested in this other business. So if you're like that and you think about something else you'd rather be doing, then you probably should, because you're wasting your life. You're always going to be unhappy, and you're going to have this sort of emptiness inside of you that's not going to be fulfilled by practicing law. When people are experiencing career anxiety, there's a lot of things they do. Sometimes they go to career counselors. In New York, I mean, there's people that will charge $500 or $1,000 an hour to talk to dissatisfied attorneys about their careers, and supposedly they'll have all this great advice. Attorneys will talk to recruiters about their search. They'll talk to their law school. They'll talk to their family, their friends. And in most cases, the people you're talking to will have motives. So that's one thing that I've learned in my life, is that anytime you need help with something, someone's going to look at you as someone that can be taken advantage of. And whether it's an accountant or a doctor or regardless, I mean, most people are predators, and they will try to take advantage of you. And the problem with recruiters is that if you're experiencing environmental career anxiety, then they can help you with that, and they can get you into a better environment a lot of times, but not always. I mean, most recruiters specialize in just getting people into large law firms. So if you're unhappy at a large law firm, they may not be able to help you get into a better law firm that's smaller. Or if you're unhappy working in a large city, if you're in New York City, they may only help you get into another firm in New York City. So you have to work with people that can really help you and understand the difference between environmental career anxiety and also the more significant, which is career anxiety, the misdirected energy. So if you have the misdirected energy, one way to find that out too, therapists can be very helpful. Someone that's going to help you understand yourself. There's retreats out there that can help you understand yourself. I mean, there's all sorts of people that go on retreats. Another way you can kind of learn about these things is by reading articles on BCG and kind of understanding the things that I've thought about, because I've been writing about this stuff for 20 years. So you need to understand what the source of your anxiety is. And the nice thing about environmental is it's curable. You know, you can cure it with time, and you can fix it. One of the mistakes is that people may have environmental career anxiety, and they may mistake it for something else. So it's very, very common for attorneys from large law firms in New York and Chicago and so forth to believe that they hate to practice the law because they've had such bad experiences in major law firms. And that's just not a good thing. So they'll quit the practice of law because of that, because of having a bad experience, when really their issues were environmental. So a lot of times people do not get good advice before they act. People will leave the practice of law or leave environments without getting exposure to the right environment that could be good for them. And a lot of times they just don't understand themselves well enough. Because everybody approaches the world with certain ways of thinking and certain ways of doing things because of the fact that they've been conditioned throughout their lives to think a certain way. And so understanding the reasons you may be making mistakes and so forth is helpful. Because if you get good advice and you understand yourself, then you won't make a bad decision. And lots of people make decisions. One thing I heard that was interesting is I heard someone that started this huge company. It was a small company, and then it became a very, very big company. And he said, the only reason I'm where I'm at today is because I just made all these decisions, and they happen to be right decisions. And so every business is a product of decisions you make, and every life is a product of decisions. So what are the decisions you're making? And so anything you can do to make better decisions is always helpful. If you don't expose yourself to different environments you don't know, and you're unhappy and you have career anxiety, you're not going to know if you could have fixed your career anxiety. Lots of people fix career anxiety. I've seen countless people fix career anxiety with law firms, with their legal practice, by finding the right environment. The biggest mistake, I think, is that you will assume you're in the wrong profession or you're doing the wrong thing, when in general your issue may be something else. Well, to understand yourself means just taking the time to understand why you're doing the things you're doing and why you may be taking certain actions that are wrong. Basically taking a therapeutic approach to your life and career. One thing that I've heard people say in business is a lot of times people won't really start becoming successful in business until they're like at least 45, because a lot of their things that they do when they're younger are motivated by proving something to themselves or proving something to others, or just these actions that make no sense. And so to the extent you can fix those sort of things with yourself, you'll be better off. Well, you need to talk to the right people, and you need to read books and read articles on the BCG website that will help you become a better person. Talking to people that can really help you understand yourself and that know you is also helpful. And just understanding that therapists and others or anyone or retreats or books and things that can help you become a better person and understand yourself better are going to make you better in your career.